So before we start, I want to say I used to be a mean girl, not in the obvious sense. I was not cruel about appearance or social standing. My version was quieter and honestly more insidious than that. I had to be the most intelligent person in the room. I needed to demonstrate it consistently and visibly through the precision of my vocabulary and the speed of my responses. And if someone in my vicinity could not keep up, if they were slower or less sharp or simply expressed themselves with less sophistication than I thought the moment required, I used that gap subtly, deliberately. I use my skill with words to make them feel it. Okay. I'm not proud of this. I'm telling you because I think it's important that this video does not come from a place of observation. It comes from a place of recognition. Because here is what I have come to understand about mean girl behavior in Austen, in the women around us, and in ourselves. It always comes from the same place. Every mean girl in every form is running the same program. The need to feel superior. The archetypes differ. The currency differs. One woman uses class. Another uses authority. Another uses proximity to power. Another uses sweetness as a scalpel. But the engine underneath it is identical in every case. And today we're going to meet 4 of Austen's most precisely drawn mean girls. Understand exactly which version of superiority each one is protecting. And if you are willing to be honest with yourself, identify which pattern lives in you. Okay, stay with me. This one requires a little courage, but welcome back to Literary EQ. I'm so glad you're here. So we're going to talk about first the social snob, which is Caroline Bingley. Caroline Bingley is the mean girl who has arrived somewhere and needs everyone to know it. Her currency is class, or more precisely, the performance of class, the right connections, the right address, the right opinions about who is and is not worth knowing. She is wealthy, educated, and positioned, and she deploys all 3 without mercy on anyone she perceives as a threat to her standing. Elizabeth Bennet is her primary target, not because Elizabeth has done anything to her, but because Elizabeth has something Caroline cannot buy. She is effortlessly interesting to the one person Caroline most wants to impress. Caroline's cruelty toward Elizabeth is not personal. It is strategic. It is the behavior of a woman who has decided that the best way to elevate herself is to diminish the competition. The meanness is not hot. It is not passionate or impulsive. It is cool, considered, and dressed in excellent fabric. Okay. So the scenario is a new woman joins your social or professional circle. She is less polished than you. Her background is different. Her presentation is rougher around the edges, but people are drawn to her. They find her funny, genuine, interesting in a way that does not seem to require effort. You notice yourself making small comments, nothing overt, just a well-placed observation about her qualifications or a gentle reminder to the room of where she comes from. You would not call it cruelty. You would call it honesty. If this is familiar, you may be a Caroline. The wound underneath. Caroline is not cruel because she is confident. She is cruel because she is terrified that without the performance of superiority, she's not enough. The question she cannot answer is, who am I if someone less polished than me gets the room? Now let's go to type 2. Type 2, the tyrant, Lady Catherine de Bourgh. Lady Catherine de Bourgh is the mean girl who has been in charge for so long, she has confused her preferences with the natural order of things. Her currency is authority, not earned authority, inherited authority, the kind that has never been seriously challenged and therefore has never had to develop any argument for itself beyond, because I said so, and the vague implication that disagreement is a form of social disorder. She does not ask questions. She delivers pronouncements. She does not enter a room. She presides over it. And when Elizabeth Bennet has the extraordinary impertinence to disagree with her, not once, but repeatedly, Lady Catherine's response is not engagement. It is an escalation, because engagement would require her to treat Elizabeth as an equal, and that is a category error she's not prepared to make. The meanness here is loud, grand, and entirely unaware of itself. Lady Catherine does not think she is being cruel. She thinks she is maintaining standards. Okay, here's the scenario. You are in a group, a family dinner, a committee, a team meeting, and someone younger or less senior than you proposes something that contradicts how you have always done things. You do not engage with the proposal on its merits. You explain with considerable patience why it will not work and why the fact that they suggested it reveals a lack of understanding about how things actually operate. You have been here longer. You know more. Their job is to learn from you, not to redirect you. If this is familiar, you may be a Lady Catherine. The wound underneath Lady Catherine's need to dominate every room is the need of a woman who has built her entire identity on being the most important person in it. The question she cannot answer is, who am I if my authority is not absolute? Now let's move to type 3. Type 3 is the benevolent manipulator, and we come to Emma Woodhouse. Emma Woodhouse is the mean girl who genuinely believes she is helping. This is what makes her the most complicated type on the list, and I would argue the most common. Caroline knows she is performing superiority. Lady Catherine has elevated her sense of entitlement to a philosophy, for her personal philosophy. Emma has no such self-awareness. Emma is managing everyone around her from a place of authentic affection and absolute certainty that she knows best. Her currency is not class or authority. It is centrality. She's the main character, okay? Emma has been the most important person in every room she has ever occupied. The cleverest, the most capable, the one everyone defers to. And she has extrapolated from this entirely unconsciously that her judgment about other people's lives is not only valid, but necessary. Harriet Smith does not need to decide who she loves. Emma will decide it for her. And Emma will do this with such warmth and enthusiasm that Harriet will feel grateful for the intervention. The damage Emma does is real. It is also genuinely unintentional, which does not make it less damaging. It makes it harder to name. So here's a scenario. A friend is navigating a decision, a relationship, a career move, something significant. She has not asked for your opinion, but you gave it anyway, framed it as concern. You introduce her to people you think are better for her. You make small comments about the options she seems to be leaning towards that are designed very gently to redirect her. When she eventually makes the choice you would have made for her, you feel a quiet satisfaction. When she does not, you feel a quiet anxiety on her behalf that has nothing to do with her and everything to do with the fact that she has stepped outside your version of her story. If this is familiar, you may be an Emma. The wound underneath is Emma's need to manage everyone else's life, is the need of a woman who is most comfortable when the world is arranged according to her understanding of it. The question she cannot answer is, who am I if I am not the one who knows best? Now let's go to type 4, okay? Type 4, the velvet knife. And that belongs to Lucy Steele. Yes, Lucy Steele, I tell you. Lucy Steele is the one I want you to pay the most attention to, because she is the one you are least likely to see coming. Caroline is visible. Lady Catherine is loud. Emma's interference, once named, is recognizable. But Lucy Steele is none of those things. Lucy Steele presents as warm, eager, slightly vulnerable, tremendously grateful for your attention. She is the woman you almost liked before you understood what she was doing. Her currency is information and proximity. She collects both with the quiet efficiency of someone who has understood very early that sweetness is the most effective armor available to a woman without other resources. She tells Eleanor Dashwood about her secret engagement to Edward Ferrars, not out of misplaced confidence, but with surgical precision. She has identified Eleanor as a rival, and she is neutralizing her, smiling warmly throughout. Lucy never raises her voice. Lucy never says anything that could be directly identified as an attack. Lucy leaves her victim destabilized and wondering, somehow, if they have been unkind to her. She's the most dangerous type on this list, and she always wins. The scenario here: there is someone in your life, a colleague, a member of your social circle, who has something you want: a position, a relationship, an opportunity, a reputation. So you befriend them. You are genuinely warm, genuinely interested, genuinely present. And in the course of that warmth, you share things, small things, carefully chosen things that position you advantageously, and them slightly less so. You would never call this strategy. You would call it conversation. You would say you are simply being honest. If this is familiar, you may be a Lucy. Lucy's covert operation is the behavior of a woman who learned very early that direct power was not available to her and developed an alternative route. The question she cannot answer is, can I get what I need without the performance? Do I trust that I am enough to compete openly? Now, the real diagnosis. Before I give you the close, I want to say something that I think matters more than which type you identified with. Every woman on this list is protecting something. Caroline is protecting her standing. Lady Catherine is protecting her authority. Emma is protecting her sense of herself as capable and central. Lucy is protecting her survival. None of them woke up one morning and decided to be the villain. Each one developed a strategy somewhere along the way for ensuring she would not feel the particular pain of being overlooked, undermined, or powerless. And that strategy calcified over time into a pattern, a reflex, a way of moving through rooms that felt like strength and was actually fear wearing an extremely convincing costume. I know this because I lived the intelligence version of it. I used my sharpest tool to ensure I was never the least impressive person in the room, and it worked. In the narrowest possible sense of that word, it kept me feeling superior. It also kept me from being genuinely known by the people around me, because you cannot be known and be performing simultaneously. You have to choose. The question is not which mean girl archetype you recognize in yourself. The question is, what are you protecting? And is the protection still necessary? Because most of the time, and this is what Austen understood with extraordinary precision, the armor was built for a room we are no longer in. So tell me in the comments which one you recognize in yourself. And if you're willing to go one step further, tell me which one you have been. The most interesting answers will not be the ones that identify a type in someone else. They will be the ones that find it in the mirror. This is the work this channel is here to do, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Like this video, share this video, and subscribe if you haven't. Catch you in the next one.